What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and in this video I have a lot of exclusive news for you guys for 2025. But before I run down the highlights, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, for some of the highlights from Jordan Brand, I have details on the Air Jordan 1 High OG UNC Reimagined, which will drop in 2025. As well, there's an Air Jordan 3 OG Chile Red dropping, and a collaboration between Swarovski and Jordan Brand on the Air Jordan 1. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan Brand, and from Nike, I have details on the upcoming Nike Air Max 95 Neon Big Bubble, and the Nike LeBron 21 Prime 96 in Varsity Red. There's also a lot more news from Nike, including release dates, and we have one thing from New Balance. And now, let's jump into the news. We don't have too much details on this pack, however, this is our first look at the social status New Balance 1906U, and it will be available in two colorways. So one pair is highlighted with white mesh on the upper and gray overlays, and then we have a light shade of blue which fills in some of the smaller details. Now, the second pair also features white mesh on the base and gray suede on the overlays. The in logo is covered in black and outlined in yellow. This pair also comes with orange accents. Now, Social Status recently previewed the shoes, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that a release is going to come soon. However, we don't have a time frame, nor do we have a retail price, but like always, more details coming soon. So we have a new release date for the KD4 Nerf. Now, I don't know if this is really considered a new release date since they were expected to debut in July, but we never had a specific release date. Now, I do know that Chic Shoes dropped the pair early, and I'm curious to see if anybody who actually got through and bought a pair was sent a tracking number or something like that, because some of the times I know Finish Line, they'll drop something early, and then they'll cancel the order and stuff like that. But if you were able to grab them from Chic, you definitely got them early, because the new release date, or the actual release date that's been confirmed, is August 9th. Now, it's possible they could get delayed, but August is going to be a busy month, and we're just going to add another pair to it, and the retail price will be $150. We have another pair from the Escape Pack returning in 2025. So recently we learned that the Nike Air Force 1 Low Escape would be returning, but now we received confirmation that the Air Max 90 will also make a return. So this shoe was launched back in 2002, and the overall theme and the color blocking of this shoe is taken from the OG Air Force 3. Now, the images used is from 2002, so we don't have new photos, not of the 2025 pair, but the new version is expected to feature a light cream, black, light British tan, golden beige, soft yellow, and sport red color combination. So there might be some minor changes on the 2025 pair, but overall, they are expected to look something like this. And as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but spring 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and no retail price. Liverpool Football Club will have another collaboration with Nike, and this time it's going to be on the Air Max 95. So the image you're looking at is not accurate. This is just a grayed out Air Max 95, and then I threw a picture of the Liverpool team in the background. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know much about soccer. I'm hoping this is their current roster. So if anybody is watching and they follow soccer, let me know if this is correct. But unfortunately, at this time, we have no additional details. So we don't have a specific colorway or anything like that. But it's possible that the shoes could feature the club's uniform colors as well. I'm sure most of us expect the shoes to feature Liverpool branding as well as the Nike logo. But in the past, Liverpool has connected with Nike on several models, including some with LeBron James. That was on an Air Max 1. And then we had the Liverpool LeBron 9 Low. So at this time, we don't have a specific release date, but summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and no retail price. Like I mentioned early on, I have a lot of exclusive news for you guys in this video, and we're going to start it off with Nike and with some release dates. So the first pair I'm going to talk about is the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Eggplant. Now, just a heads up, this image is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look. However, the shoes will come dressed in an eggplant, black, and metallic gold color combination. So that's the reason why they're nicknamed Eggplant. But overall, they definitely have a Lakers vibe to them, according to the color description. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't be mad if they dropped just like this. I think this looks clean. And as for the release date, this pair is set to debut on February 8th. So I believe last year we saw two Kobe's drop on February 8th. I believe it was the Radiant Purple and New Emerald colorways with the repeated branding throughout. It seems that Nike Basketball likes to drop a Kobe just before All-Star Weekend. This is about a week or so in advance. And we probably won't see a first look until fall 2024. But like I mentioned, February 8th is the release date and the retail price will be $190. Another shoe that was recently announced is the Nike Air Max Uptempo in white, black, and teal. This is an OG colorway and they will return for the 30th anniversary. Now, I've talked about the shoe in a previous video, but this is another pair that I had the release date for. So if you're looking to buy, they drop on March 9th. And the retail price will be $165. Next up, I have a release date for another Deion Sanders Nike Air Diamond Turf that will be dropping in 2025. Now, before I say the nickname and before I go over the details, I want to apologize to everybody. So in a previous video, I was calling them the 49ers, and a lot of people were calling them the 49ers as well. And I did bad research, being honest and straight up, because this shoe should not be called the 49ers. In fact, it should be called the Atlanta Falcons, which I'm going to be calling from here on out. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to really make a push to get a lot of other people to change the nickname because the shoe originally released in 1993. At that time, he was playing for the Atlanta Falcons. In fact, I went on Google, I searched for images, and I've seen pictures of him wearing this pair in this exact colorway. So calling them the 49ers is a disservice to the shoe. It's a disservice to the fans. I know there's probably a lot of 49ers fans, but this is just part of the shoe's history. So if we're just being real here, this is the Falcons pair. But the official colorway is white, fire red, black, and metallic gold. And the release date is set for February 12th. And the retail price will be $150. This information I've been waiting to talk about for some time. It's just that in the last video, I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about and needed to get out. But Nike Basketball will release the Nike LeBron 21 Prime 96, known as Varsity Red. So we've seen the pair worn by LeBron James. He wore the pair during the 2024 NBA All-Star Game, but the shoes then were in black and white. And then later on, he wore the red pair in another game. I believe it was during the regular season. So what's interesting about this is that this pair is going to drop in summer 2025. By then, we'll have moved on to the LeBron 22, but I guess that the reception was so well on the shoe and being shared quite a bit that Nike Basketball decided, hey, we're going to drop them. Now, I don't have the official colorway, but I was told that it will be the Varsity Red/red pair, but I do have the release time frame and the style code. The name of the shoe, or what Nike is calling them, at least for now, is the Nike LeBron 21 Prime 96. And what makes this shoe interesting is that Deion Sanders wore the number 21. This is LeBron James' 21st signature shoe. And when he first wore them, it was during his 21st NBA season. So it's kind of like a cross tribute to both. And the shoes feature the upper of the Nike Air DT Max 96 with some small modifications. And then the sole will be taken from the LeBron 21. Now, I'm excited for this release. This might be the first LeBron 21 I buy. I like the model. I've just been hesitant on buying something, but this is dope. Now, like I mentioned, summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and currently no retail price. For the last piece of news from Nike, I can confirm that the Nike Air Max 95 Neon will return in 2025. So recently, I talked about the Nike SB Air Max 95 releasing, and some people asked if the OG pair will debut. At that time, I wasn't sure. I did think it was likely since 2025 will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the model, but I just received confirmation, actually a couple days ago I received confirmation that the pair will return. However, there will be a twist. So this will actually be a big bubble version. So they're going to do like what they did on the Air Max 1 and make the Air Max unit larger. Now, I don't have images of the 2025 pair, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use photos of the 2020, which is when the shoes last released. Now, as most of you know, this is a classic colorway. In fact, it's an original colorway that was first released in 1995. Now, throughout the years, we've seen various retros of the shoes. We've also seen different variations, including the Air Max 95 360, the Vapor Max 95, even a LeBron 15 and an Air Force One has paid homage to this model. And that's just to name a few. If I was to run down every single shoe, I'd probably be here for the next 10 minutes. So this is definitely an iconic pair. And for the 2025 release, it'll feature a black, neon yellow, and cool gray color combination. So other than the larger Air unit, which in my opinion I think is a good thing, the overall blocking will be exactly like the OG. And as for a specific release date, I don't have one, but summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, which means a release will take place between April and June of 2025. Also, the retail price is expected to be $185. Now, in 2020, when Nike dropped the shoes, they were available in full family sizing, so there's a possibility that the 2025 pair will also be available in full family sizing, but I haven't received that confirmation just yet. Let me know your thoughts on this pair returning down below. I'm definitely excited. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and I'm sure all of us know this, that the Air Jordan 6 Olympic is going to return in August of 2024. Recently, official images popped up. This is another pair that's going to drop in August, which I believe is going to be a busy month as far as sneakers go, a lot of releases, and I'll be kind of honest with you guys, I really haven't had the chance to sit back and kind of enjoy that the shoes are returning because I've been a little upset that Jordan Brand hasn't brought back the Air Jordan 7 Olympic, which I feel that would have been a perfect time for it. Now, don't get me wrong, these are dope. I had the 2012 pair. The shape on those were bad, really bad, so these are looking a lot nicer. What I might do is just go ahead and sell my 2012, use that money, if I don't even know what they go for, and just buy the 2024 release. Like I mentioned, they did drop in 2012 as well. They dropped in the year 2000, and it was worn by Ray Allen during the Olympics in the year 2000. We do have the official photos. They feature a white Varsity Red and midnight navy color combination. And I will say, the official photos, they look great. It makes me really want the shoes now. Sometimes when we get looks from other sources, the images, they're not great. The overall shape of the shoes literally looks all mangled, and that could be due to the fact of them sneaking them out of the factories or whatever reason, but these look good. Now, they were expected to debut in July, however, the new release date is August 3rd. They will be available in full family sizing, so we have men's priced at $200, grade school at $160, preschool will cost $100, and toddler sizes will retail for $85. Let me know if you plan on picking this pair up when they do drop. It's been a minute since I've talked about the Air Jordan 1 High OG Black Toe Reimagined, and the shoes will debut in October. And the reason I haven't talked about them is because there's no new information. If there was a release date change or some like incredible images, then yeah, I would talk about it. But in this case, I'm talking about them because we have some on-feet photos, and I know people do enjoy the on-feet look. So like always, I wanted to share that with you guys. Now, just to briefly go over the inspiration and all that good stuff, this colorway is an OG. It was originally released in 1985, and the last time the shoes released was in 2016. Now, then it was the Air Jordan 1 High OG. It was closer to the OG, but it was still far away. However, a lot of people like that model. I do as well. I own it, and I plan on picking this one up as well. So when details first came out about the shoes, we knew it was going to be reimagined, but in what way, shape, or form, it just wasn't known. And then maybe a couple months ago, we learned that it was actually going to be inspired by the sample. So the sample pair features Air Jordan written instead of the Wings logo. Furthermore, this pair on the medial side, it reads "My Very Best Michael Jordan." The shoes are also a tribute to the pair that he gifted to a friend, and they come with a black tongue. I know a lot of people wanted the black tongue, although when it was announced that they had a black tongue, I did see some people upset that they wanted the white tongue. So for those who wanted the white tongue, my apologies. I like them with the black tongue. I think they look dope. And as for the release details, this pair will debut on October 18th. They will be available in full family sizing, so we have men's priced at $180, grade school will cost $140, preschool will cost $85, and toddler sizes will cost $70. Now we're moving on to the exclusive news in this video. So going forward, this is all going to be exclusive, and I have details on the upcoming Air Jordan 1 Low OG Phantom. Now, the image used is just a mock-up, but I do have the color description as well as a few other details. So this pair will feature a Phantom Chile Red, Moon Particle, Black, Muslin, and Coconut Milk color combination. So I know a lot of people were talking about Coconut Milk in previous videos. The shade is back for 2025. It really hasn't left. I noticed it kind of slowed down a little bit, but there's been a couple pairs that I've noticed that will feature the shade in 2025. So like I mentioned, this is a mock-up, and they are expected to feature a larger swoosh. So you guys might remember in the previous video, I talked about the Rust Pink Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Those will also feature a larger swoosh. And to be honest, I wouldn't be mad at this colorway. This would be actually pretty solid, the blocking. So hopefully Jordan Brand releases them something like this, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, as for a release date, I don't have a specific one, but summer 2025 is when they're going to be released, which means they will debut between April and June of 2025. Also, the retail price will be $140. My source recently gave me information that Swarovski and Jordan Brand will connect to release the Air Jordan 1 High OG. Now, the image used is a mock-up. I just put this together to represent the collaboration. We don't know the color blocking on this shoe, so even the use of colors is just grayed out. But I wanted to make sure that the swoosh did have the Swarovski crystals just to mimic what it could look like. Now, the details that I do know, this shoe will be a women's exclusive release, which shouldn't be a big surprise because on past collabs, they've been women's releases. For example, the Air Max 97 and the upcoming release of the Air Max Plus. Now, this isn't the first time that Jordan Brand and Swarovski actually collaborated. So in 2019, the two dropped the Jordan Air Latitude 720 LX. That was a women's shoe. Honestly, in my opinion, that shoe was very, very ugly. I don't even want to include it in the video, but if you want to Google Jordan Air Latitude 720 LX, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. Now, as far as the crystal placements, that isn't known as well. I think it would look pretty nice if it was on the swoosh and maybe within the wings, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, unfortunately, I don't have much information other than what I just talked about. They are expected to drop summer 2025 along with apparel, and no retail price as of yet. However, expect to pay at minimum $400. For the next shoe dropping during summer 2024, this pair we're calling the Air Jordan 4 Aluminum. Now, the reason for that is due to the colorway, which is white, aluminum, blue tint, and oil green. Now, just as a heads up, this is a women's exclusive release, and the image used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look, but again, this is another pair that I would buy if they look like this. This actually looks really nice. So it's possible that they could look like this, but unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see. Now, what you won't be able to tell unless you look closely is that on the mock-up, we added oil green on the Jumpman logo on the heel, as well as the Jumpman on the tongue. Other than that, we have white on the base, aluminum, which is like a shade of blue on part of the midsole and the liner, and then blue tint with a metallic finish on the eyelets. So I actually think that Sneakerhead Z did a great job on this, but like always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, no release date, but summer 2025 is when they're expected to drop, which means a release could take place between April and June, and the retail price will be $215. In 2025, we have another Air Jordan 3 releasing. This pair is known as Chile Red. So again, the nickname is from the color description, which is black, chili red, neutral gray, military blue, and coconut milk. So again, with the coconut milk. And as a heads up, This is a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look. And I think I saw images floating around as something that looks similar to this that some other people talked about. Now, one thing I noticed on that mock-up and what they forgot to add in is that the shoe will actually feature Nike Air branding. So the shoes are labeled in OG, which automatically means that Nike Air branding will be incorporated in some way. Now, as most of you know, this isn't an OG colorway, but it does have military blue, but that's associated with the Air Jordan 4. I did find that a little bit interesting, especially since Jordan Brand's calling it industrial blue. At least that was the deal with the 4s. But the mock-up kind of has like a fusion between the black cement Air Jordan 3, and you can add a little bit of blue in for the military blue Air Jordan 4. I know the True Blue 3 uses a different shade of blue. So if it was True Blue, I would think that maybe it's like a hybrid between the two colorways, which kind of is like that for this mock-up. But at this time, we don't know the specific color blocking. But honestly, if they dropped like this, I would buy them. I think they look clean. Now, this is another pair part of Jordan Brand's Summer 2025 lineup, and no specific release date at this time, but they are expected to drop between April and June, and no retail price. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. If Jordan Brand released them just like this, would you buy? Jordan Brand will release another reimagined Air Jordan 1. This time it's going to be the UNC Reimagined. Now, the images that I'm using is of the 1985 pair. Although I do have details on the shoe, I don't have the info what's going to be reimagined about them. They could come aged. They could come with different materials. I kind of hope not. Or maybe there's a sample version or something along the lines of like the Black Toe Reimagined, where that shoe was gifted to a friend. Now, for those that don't know, this is an OG colorway. It was released in 1985. And throughout the years, we've seen a few releases. While not like the OG, in 2003, Jordan Brand released a patent leather version. It also featured a plastic wings logo and Jumpman's placed on the tongues and heels. Now in 2015, we saw the pair that was closest to the OG. That shoe I do own and I absolutely love it. I got it for like $140. Those hit outlets, they sat. I just looked and they go for crazy money now. I can't even believe that. And the last time we saw the shoes release, and again, it's not like the OG, we saw the collaboration with Off-White. But it was a nod to the UNC. Some people call it Carolina Blue. And for this shoe, it'll feature a dark powder blue and cell color combination. I'm actually a huge fan of this pair. I love my 2015 pair. I'm just curious to see what they do to make them reimagined. I hope they don't put suede. I'm not a huge fan of the Royal Reimagined. It's not bad, but I think the OG Royal is way better. I feel like the suede just makes them look off. Something to do with the shape. Now these look incredible. Again, this is the OG from 1985. The shape on these is immaculate. Now for this pair, it will be released during summer 2025, which means it'll take place between April and June, and the retail price will be $180. Now, more than likely, they will be available in full family sizing. Unfortunately, I don't have those details just yet to confirm, but let me know your thoughts about Jordan Brand releasing the UNC Reimagined Air Jordan 1 High OG. I'm excited, but again, I want to know the details, and I should be getting the details soon. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now this week, I will drop another news video, a full-length one for sure, and more than likely a couple shorts. So I'm thinking about dropping one tomorrow. I have a few ideas. I know the shorts have been doing a lot better. I recently dropped one of every Air Jordan 3 releasing in 2024. Well, the rest of 2024. So if you want to check that out, there will be a link in the description below. Or you can wait until the end of the video. There will be some cards on the screen that pop up and you can just click that. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.